Hello guys, once again welcome back to the Gatekeepers TV, of course your number one sporting, educative and entertainment channel. I'm your super host at Dennis Keton. Before we start, as we always do guys, on your screen as you can see, those are the results for EPL match week 10. Of course, surprises were there. Arsenal lost an early kickoff to Newcastle guys at St. James Park by a solitary goal to nil, a goal that was scored by yours truly, Isaac with an assist from Gordon. Man City also lost guys. Once again, they lost to Bournemouth by 2-1. Their only goal was scored by Vardiol. On the other side, Evan Nilsson and Semenyo ensured that Bournemouth got the win. Chelsea and Manchester United, they drew 1-1. Chelsea came from behind, equalizing Bruno Fernandes' penalties with a screamer from Caicedo. Yes, the rest you can see on the screen. Those were the results. So straight to it guys, without wasting your time. It's also another super weekend guys. We have a big match in this weekend. Of course, Chelsea again will be facing Arsenal this weekend, so that will be the last match of this game week. But before we reach there, let's start with the matches which will be played in this match week. So on Saturday guys, we have a number of matches. The first match guys at 18:00 hours EAT time will be Brentford versus Bournemouth. The last time these two teams met guys, we saw Brentford winning against Bournemouth, and the big question right now, can Bournemouth actually have their revenge? Considering that right now Bournemouth has actually managed to slay the Giants. Bournemouth won against Arsenal. They also won against Man City in the last match week. So do you guys think that Bournemouth has what it takes to win against Brentford? It's gonna be a tricky fixture, considering last weekend Brentford lost their match to Fulham by 2-1. On the other side, as I've told you, Bournemouth won their match. So this is gonna be a 50-50 match for me. I'm gonna go with a 2-2 draw, but anything is possible because Mbeumo is form, and let me stick with 2-2 guys. Then the next match, it's a goal rush guys. Crystal Palace facing Fulham. Yes, Crystal Palace on the other hand guys, they won against Tottenham by 1-0. We remember in match week, that was in match week 9 guys. I don't know whether that is enough motivation for them. They're facing Fulham, a team that won against Brentford in the London Derby. So this is always a great game. It's always a big game whenever they do. Hey, excuse me guys, it's always a big match guys. So the last 3 matches which these two teams have played guys, they have actually drawn those games. So the big question is, are we expecting another draw this time round? Last week Crystal Palace drew against Wolves. Yes, they scored a late goal in the 70-something minute, equalizing the Guehi's goal on the other side. So this is a game which I feel like another draw is looming, but Fulham are on the better form. They have the advantage of winning this, but I'm also going with another 1-1 draw. Then West Ham facing Everton. Overall, Everton has a better record against Everton guys, but as they're going to meet this time round, I feel like West Ham has a point to prove, considering that they will be at the London Stadium at home. West Ham by 3 goals. So they are facing Everton, a team that lost to Southampton by 1-0. It was a game which it wasn't just in favor of Everton because they did everything they could do to win the match, but unfortunately the odds were not on their side. They ended up losing that game by a goal courtesy of Armstrong from Southampton. Yes, so that's a match whereby guys, I'm gonna give it to Wolves to actually have their first win. This season Wolves have not won any match, so the big question is, can this be their first match to win? I believe yes. Wolves to win against Southampton by 2-1. Brighton will be welcoming Manchester City at the Amex Stadium. Yes, Brighton are coming into this game guys motivated, considering that they have seen that Man City can be defeated. So that's the motivation behind Brighton when they're coming to face Man City in this game week. Man City, once again in the midweek, they had a Champions League match guys against Sporting Lisbon, a match which they lost by 4-1. I don't know what's happening at Man City. They have now lost like 2 games in a row. Of course, I told you in the Premier League, guys, they lost to Bournemouth by 2-1. So I don't know what's happening, but it's a high time Pep Guardiola organizes his house in order, because things are not okay. Though some good news, De Bruyne is officially back. He played in the Champions League for some minutes. So let's see what happens, whether that is gonna cement Man City's squad. Haaland also needs to find his scoring boot to be able to help Man City with goals. Pep Guardiola is quoted saying that he's not happy with the call-up of Grealish to the English squad because he just resumed training and they're calling him out. So I think maybe he's just trying to protect his player, considering that he's actually been faced with a lot of injuries this season. So let's continue, guys. So as Brighton will be welcoming Man City, Brighton has only won once against Man City in the Premier League, guys. Man City has won 12 times against them. So as they're going to meet, I don't know whether this is an indication that it's time for Brighton or Man City to have their way out. Man City has the advantage of winning this game, but the way things have been going, it's not something new if you hear Brighton winning it. But having said that, let me go with Brighton to draw this game 1-1. The last match on Saturday will be Liverpool versus Aston Villa. The last time Liverpool met Aston Villa, the match ended in 3-3 goals at Aston Villa. But when Liverpool were at home in the first leg, they won their match by 3-0. So as the two teams are going to meet, the big question is, currently we are saying that Liverpool are the informed team currently in the Premier League, of course. So the big question is, can they actually continue with the same form? In the Champions League, they were also able to win their match. It was a great game, so they won their match comfortably. Diaz had a hat-trick in that match. So yes, as they're going to face Aston Villa, a team that also they have been cruising and they have been doing everything right. I feel like it's not gonna be an easy one for them. I feel like they really need to give the best that they have. So Mohamed Salah is a player on form. He's scoring almost in every game. So the big question is, can he get his scoring foot once again in this Aston Villa tie? My guess is yes. Mo Salah is a big game player and he's capable to actually grant Liverpool a goal in this match. So I feel like this is a match whereby Unai Emery will be strategizing and seeing how to put his defense correct to be able to protect his goal line. Emiliano Martinez, of course, the best keeper in the world currently as per the Ballon d'Or awards. So I feel like he will be equal to the task at the goalpost. So having said that, guys, let me not even bore you a lot. This is a match whereby I'm going with a Liverpool win 1-0. On Sunday, we have 4 matches. The first match will be Manchester United welcoming Leicester. Yes, Manchester has a better record against Leicester. They have won almost most of their matches against Leicester. The most recent, when they faced Leicester in the EFL Cup, they ran rampage against them. It was the first match under the new interim coach, guys. That match, Manchester United won it by 5-0. Yes. So the big question is, will they reciprocate the same form of 5-0 against Leicester at Old Trafford this coming weekend? I feel like yes, they have an advantage. They can be able to win. They can win, but I don't believe it's gonna be with that goal margin. Over the weekend in the Europa League, Manchester United won their match against PAOK by 2-0. Of course, Ahmad was on the score sheet with a brace. So the big question is, can the same form be reciprocated here against Leicester? Manchester United will be able to win that match by 2-1. Vardy will be on the score sheet, or he will be providing an assist in that match. So the next match will be Nottingham Forest welcoming Newcastle United. Yes, both teams won in match week 10. We saw Newcastle winning against Arsenal by 1-0. On the other hand, Nottingham Forest were able to win their match by 3 goals. So we are seeing Nottingham Forest, guys, surprising many. Currently they are seated at position 3 in the Premier League table. I know most guys are still saying that that's not their ultimate position, but the way they are playing, Nuno Espirito Sanchez is actually determined to transform and change the nature of how Nottingham Forest are playing. So far, so good. Speaking of Nuno was confirmed officially as the Premier League Coach of the Month this season, alongside his striker Chris Wood, who was also confirmed as Player of the Month because of the consistency which he's been having scoring goals. So having said that, guys, as the two teams are going to meet, I feel like it's going to be a very competitive fixture, considering that Newcastle, after winning against Arsenal, they are motivated. They feel that they can do anything and everything. Isako is on form, scoring goals of late. He scored against Chelsea both in the Carabao and also in the league. He also came and scored against Arsenal. Gordon is officially back. He provided an assist for Isaka against Arsenal. So I feel like they are motivated. On the other hand, when you look at Hudson Odoi, when you look at Chris Wood, when you look at Aina, this is a team which is ready to play and ready to rumble and ready to actually maximize on the points which they can get. So the two teams are going to meet, guys. Nottingham will be at home. For real, let me go with a straight shoot. I feel like Nottingham are gonna win against Newcastle. So give them a 1-0 victory. Tottenham to face Ipswich. Tottenham will be welcoming Ipswich at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, guys. Tottenham, as I always say, they are lukewarm. You never know when they are on form or when they will win their match. In match week 10, yes, they won by 4-1. We saw Solanke scoring a brace, Brennan Johnson, and of course, Maddison were on the score sheet, guys. But in the midweek, in the Europa League, they lost by 3-2 against Jose Mourinho's Galatasaray. So I don't know why they flip-flop the lukewarm of nature of Tottenham, but they really need to find their footings soonest enough. So they're going to face Ipswich, whom historically have a better record against them. The last time these two teams met was sometimes in 2002, yes, as you can see on your screen. And from those seasons, Ipswich were actually having good time when they faced Tottenham. But currently, in this current generation, in this current Premier League, I feel like Tottenham, of course, is the strongest when you compare the two. Ipswich were able to draw their last match in match week 10. They drew their game. I believe they were playing against Leicester. Yes, the game ended 1-1, and in that match we saw a red card. Yes, somebody got a red card. Former Manchester City player got a red card in that match. Yes, so as the two teams are gonna meet, guys, I want to favor Tottenham to win this match because they will be at home. So give Tottenham a chance to win it by 3-1. Yes. Then, guys, on to the last match, the long-awaited match which everyone has been waiting for. Chelsea versus Arsenal. Yes, the match will be played at Stamford Bridge. The match is coming amidst Chelsea having faced Manchester United in match week 10, and they drew that match by 1-1. Yes, Chelsea came from behind to equalize from Bruno Fernandes' penalty by a screamer goal from Moise Caicedo, the Ecuadorian, guys. What a screamer that goal was. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it. So in the midweek, Chelsea also had another game in the Conference League. They were playing against the Armenian team, Noah. In that game, guys, Maresca, of course, switched the squad again and gave other players a chance to play. This game, Chelsea won by a commanding lead, 8-0. By first half, guys, Chelsea was leading by 6-0. Then on the flip side, when you look at Arsenal, in match week 10, they had a match at St. James Park against Newcastle. In that match, guys, Arsenal did everything they could do, but unfortunately, luck was not on their side. Newcastle ended up winning that match by 1-0. Yes, a goal from Isak and an assist from Anthony Gordon was enough to ensure that by the 12th minute, that match was officially over. The match ended 1-0 courtesy of Newcastle winning it. In the midweek, they also had a Champions League tie. They were facing Inter Milan away, guys, at San Siro. So as they were playing against Inter Milan, they also lost once again by 1-0, a goal which was called by Kanaloglu, a penalty, of course, controversial. It was a controversial goal, but it is what it is on how the penalty came to happen. Arsenal played a very great game, but unfortunately, great game wasn't enough to allow them to win the match. So 2 losses in a row for Arsenal. So as they will be coming to Stamford Bridge for the London Derby, do you guys believe or do you guys think that they're going to exercise a different form as they're going to face Chelsea? The last time these two teams met, guys, last season, Arsenal was able to win by a resounding or by a commanding win against Chelsea. The match was played at Emirates. In that game, guys, as you can see on your screen, the match ended by 5-0. Ben White had a brace. Trossard had a brace. Ben White had a brace. Havertz also was on the score sheet, of course, with a brace. So, and Trossard match ended 5-0. in spite of in the first leg at Stamford Bridge when the match ended 2-2. Of late, Arsenal has been having a better record against Chelsea, but that notwithstanding, we are in a different season whereby Chelsea feels like they're ready to go and they are officially prepared to face bigger teams like this one. Remember, as we speak right now, Chelsea has had a better record, especially at Stamford Bridge. They have gone like 8 games overall without losing at Stamford Bridge. So that should actually send a message to Arsenal that Stamford Bridge is returning to become a fort that it used to be. So Arsenal, on the flip side, they were also having some concerns. They are coming to this match amidst their head of scout, Edu, having resigned from his position. So they really need to get a replacement for him. So in this game, at least Arsenal have the onto good news for them. Odegaard is officially back. He got some minutes in the game against Inter Milan. So that means that Arteta could actually bring him straight into this match as they're going to face Chelsea. So as these two teams are going to meet, guys, it's going to be a great game to watch. So I feel, as always, defense needs to be wary, because this is always a game whereby if you are weak in the defense, you will always be punished. We know Arsenal are good at set pieces, so Chelsea needs to avoid those set pieces. Also, Arsenal on the other side, they know that if Cole Palmer will be fit to play this game, they know that Cole Palmer is the person they really need to mark together with Nicholas Jackson. So this is going to be a battle of two equal teams and two teams who really want to also go on top of the league and want to play in the Champions League next season. Currently, Chelsea are position 4, Arsenal position 5. They're only separated by goal difference. So the big question is, can Arsenal stop Chelsea from climbing to position 3, dependent on how Nottingham Forest and Newcastle game will continue? Or will Chelsea stop Arsenal from going to the same position? So if you ask me, I feel this is going to be a brilliant and a good game for everyone to watch, and I feel like Arteta versus Maresca is going to be a challenge to watch. Both coaches have what it takes when it comes to winning the matches. Both teams of late, they have good players who can actually win the matches. So the wing backs and the right backs and the midfield and the strikers of both teams, they are equal to the task. So now I believe it's a match which we need to be prepared to watch. So the big question which I'm gonna ask you guys, where is your money on? Who do you think is gonna win this match? For me, I feel like it's gonna be a difficult match. Chelsea, I'm going to pause. I'm going actually to favor them to capitalize on the home advantage, and I feel like utilizing the home advantage, they are going to win this game by 2-1. Yes, they are going to have a revenge against Arsenal for the many times that Arsenal has actually been winning against them. Chelsea have gone like 3 seasons without winning against Arsenal in the Premier League, so this is the time for them to correct that. This season, Chelsea are correcting the mistakes which they have been doing. So, having said that, guys, let's be prepared. Let's be ready for Sunday, 19:30 hours EAT time, to be able to witness that game. So, I've already given you my bet. So, Chelsea to be able to win that game by 2-1. So, thank you guys for keeping it the Gatekeepers TV. Thank you guys for keeping it locked and for always watching our content. Remember to subscribe and share our content. Thank you so much once again. It's your super host. I'm Dennis Keton, and I'm signing out.